Regarding your question about the recent killing in Manhattan, I can help by conducting some research to provide you with the most up-to-date information. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah, please. Hey, how's everybody doing? So ElevenLabs just dropped the other day. They just dropped these voice AI agents, and I thought I'd build one and see if we can get it to run this research agent tool that I made in Make. I'll walk you through that. But the other day I tried it. I couldn't get it to work. Spent quite a bit of time on it and couldn't get the agent to reply to me. So let's try it again. So basically the conversational grouping over here is where you create the voice agents. I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus icon up here to create an agent. I'm going to start with a blank template, but they have some other templates: support agent, math tutor, video game character. I'm just going to start from scratch. I need to give it a name. Let's just call it Alan. He's going to be a research assistant. This is going to use the ElevenLabs Turbo V2 model, English. I'm going to go ahead and set up the first message. I want to say, how can I help you with your research? And then I'm going to say, I'm just going to go ahead and use this one and say, you're a helpful research assistant. I'm going to go ahead and use GPT-4o for this one. So that's the OpenAI large language model, the GPT-4o. The language token usage, I'm going to leave that at unlimited, which is less than 0. You can add a knowledge base here, so you can add files, you can scrape a website, and you can add your own text for your knowledge base. I'm not going to do that now. I am going to add a tool. So this make.com automation has a webhook. That's how it gets triggered. And this webhook has a URL, so I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, and then I'm going to go back over here and add the tool. So we'll call this Perplexity Research. And then we want to describe to the large language model what it's going to use the tool for. So I'm going to say, use this tool to retrieve research information from Perplexity. I'm just going to call this research, or do research. And I'm going to put the make URL in there. Don't need headers or parameters. So you can add header information in the request. You can add parameters in the URL. Let's see, define parameters that will be collected by the LLM and sent to the query. Oh, okay, so I need to add, do I need to add a parameter? Yes, we need the subject. So when I say, can you get me information on a particular thing, that's going to pass that parameter to the make automation. So I'll show you how that works in a second. I'm going to call this subject. So we're going to research a specific subject. I guess I'll call this research subject. And then this is going to be, this is the subject that we are researching, that we are doing research on. Don't need any parameters in the body, so I wonder what I called it over here. Let's look and see what this was. before. This is from when I tried it before. We just called it subject. So I'm gonna call this subject. So I don't have to change it in the make.com. So we'll add that tool. So we have a do research tool. Secrets are if you're doing any authentication, you can add your API key in here. So you can call it API key, give it a value. So if you're doing any calls to tools that require authentication, you can do that. Then I need to choose a voice. So you basically go through these tabs. Let's see what Eric sounds like.
Gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty.
We have my own in here. It's not that great.
Don't settle for a relationship that won't let you be yourself.
We'll go ahead and try that one. Then you have various output parameters here. It looks like you can replace various words with your own dictionary. Let's see, dictionary files apply to pronunciation replacements. So there's that. Streaming latency is the lag time basically between the time that you ask a question and the time you get the answer back. You can decrease the latency at the expense of quality. I'm going to leave this default. So stability, if you're over here, it's monotone. If you're over here, it sounds kind of emotional and it gets kind of crazy, more expressive. Similarity is how close it's going to sound to your actual sample. So if you're providing a voice sample or you've trained it on your voice, if you go over here, it's going to be closer to your voice. And then if it's to the left, it's going to be a little less consistent. I'm going to leave that at the default. Okay, you can set up some analysis here, evaluation criteria, and you can extract from the transcripts and do some comparisons. I won't cover that. This is authentication that I was talking about before, where you can use your secret to do the authentication. You can only allow requests from certain hosts, so certain domains. If you're embedding, there's like a widget that you can add to a web page, so you can restrict that widget based on this allow list. I'm not sure what this is yet. This is the input hertz rate that we're bringing in from the user's input, and then the events to be sent to the client, audio interruption. So this allows the speaker to interrupt while the client is speaking, I'm guessing. I'm not going to mess with that. And then here's the widget embed code. So this is what I was talking about, where you can embed the widget on a web page. Then you can make changes to the color. You can collect feedback. Looks like you can change the orb. You can change it to an orb or link or an image. And then the labels that go on the different controls on the widget. So you can change those. And then this is this description of the page that you're going to share. So down here you see these items. Basically I can change this to let's talk, right? So that changes that. I think we're okay now to go test. Let's give it a shot. Well, let me save. See where my tool is. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up, and then I'll walk you through this. It's actually turned on, so let's go to the diagram. You'll be able to see when it's running. Okay, I'm going to test the widget now, or the agent.
How can I help you with your research?
Yeah, can you look up some information on P. Diddy.
Sean Diddy Combs is currently facing serious legal challenges. He is in jail after a judge denied his request for bail, considering him a danger. Combs is charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, pleading not guilty to these allegations. Additionally, he faces multiple civil lawsuits accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting several individuals. His defense team is actively working on various legal strategies, including challenging video evidence and addressing claims of government misconduct.
Man, I sound really bad. Do I really sound that bad? Let's go into the voice. Let me play with this a little bit. The stability, I'm going to crank this up just a tad. I'm going to drop this a little bit. And then I'm going to save this and I'll show you the difference between the voices. So let's test this again.
How can I do research?
Yeah, can you tell me about, like, Madonna? Who's Madonna?
Madonna, often referred to as the Queen of Pop, is an iconic American singer, songwriter, and actress. She rose to fame in the 1980s with hits like...
Can you do some research on Madonna?
Madonna, often known as the Queen of Pop, is an iconic American singer, songwriter, and actress. Recently, she faced a health scare due to a bacterial infection, but has since recovered and resumed her activities, including her successful Celebration tour. Her song Vogue was recently certified 3 times platinum in the U.S.
Okay, let me play with that a little bit more. Let's do some crazy stuff with the voice. Let's drop this down to 30. Let's drop the stability down to 30 and save that. Let's test it again.
How can I help you with your research?
Hey, can you tell me about the recent killing in Manhattan? You can see it's running over here. It ran it twice for some reason. Are you there? See, this is the problem I was having before. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It seems like there might have been a technical issue earlier. Regarding your question about the recent killing in Manhattan, I can help by conducting some research to provide you with the most up-to-date information. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah, please.
The recent killing in Manhattan involves the murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, which took place on December 4th, 2024. Thompson was shot outside the New York Hilton in Midtown Manhattan in what has been described as a targeted and premeditated attack. The suspect, who used a silencer, remains unidentified, but investigators have gathered evidence, including DNA samples and surveillance footage. The NYPD is working with the FBI to solve the case, and a reward has been offered for information. If you need more details or have specific questions, feel free to ask.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any other questions in the future, feel free to ask. Have a great day.
Okay, so let me show you what this tool looks like. Basically, I have this initial webhook, and the agent knew to call that webhook based on this tool here. So every time I asked it to do research, it called that webhook. And then the steps it went through. And then the parameter here, subject parameter, it passed the subject parameter. So when I said, can you please do research on Madonna, it passed Madonna in this parameter. And then I think I can show you that. So in this particular run, you see, okay, well, this is the subject on this particular call was the killing in Manhattan. So that's what it passed in the subject parameter, recent killing in Manhattan. Then it went to Perplexity, and the prompt that I have here is, please get me the latest information on the following, right? So it's the subject that we passed in, the recent killing in Manhattan. So the prompt is, please get me the latest information on the following, the recent killing in Manhattan. So we did a call to Perplexity with that, and then we returned what we got back from Perplexity. So that's this parameter. So we did a webhook response, and that passed all the information pulled from Perplexity back to the voice agent. And let me show you what that looks like. This is it. Recent killing in Manhattan. So the input was to the LLM was, the role was user. The content is, please get me the latest information on the following, recent killing in Manhattan. Then the response was this, which was all of this information on the recent killing in Manhattan. So that's what was returned to the agent, and it was returned as this text, right, which is Markdown, which came directly out of this Perplexity call. So that's how that works. And then you can look at previous conversations here. So there's a conversation history log. Click on that. Here's the transcript. So this is the entire conversation that I just had with the agent. And then there's the phone number tab here. You can add a phone number and you can import from Twilio. And I'm probably going to do a separate video on this because I do want to test this out. But I just wanted to get this out to show you what you can do with this. It's actually pretty cool. I'll go ahead and leave this automation, or I'll provide a link in the description for this automation. You can have this. And then all you have to do is just import this into your Make account, and you do that with these little dots. It's a JSON file. You just go to these little dots and you hit import blueprint, and then you can choose the file that I'll provide to you down in the description. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching the videos, and we'll see you on the next one.